I know both of you have been asked this question before, but I'm sure it's always a great answer. What was your favorite episode in Next Generation?
The ones that I was in the most.
Yeah, I like the ones that Marina was in the most too.
Actually, one that I wasn't in that much, but I really, really liked was The Offspring.
Yes, Offspring.
And one that I wasn't in at all that I loved was Measure of a Man.
Measure of a Man.
Great
episode.
Perfect Star Trek episode.
Yes. Yeah.
I also liked the episodes when we went to the holodeck and had a chance to dress up, and we, did Robin Hood when Data and Geordi were playing Holmes and Watson. You got pockets. You got to stick your hands in pockets. There are no pockets in our spacesuits.
In Voyager and Enterprise, there was a female in the cast that was invariably outfitted in a cat suit, which it seems to me the only purpose for that character to be in the show was to demographics. For the first several seasons of Next Generation, you were in a similar tight-fitting suit, but in a particular episode, and I apologize, the name escapes me, but a substitute captain ordered Deanna to start wearing regular...
Captain Jellicoe.
There you go, thank you. That was...
Chain of Command, Part 1.
After that episode was over and for the rest of the series, you stayed in the uniform. Was that a decision that was made for that particular script, or was that a decision that was made for your character, intended to remain for the rest of for the series?
Well, we were trying out a new captain just in case Patrick asked for too much money at the end of the season. No, I think what happened, I don't know, I think what happened was that when I got cast, I was a little heavier, and so the spacesuit really didn't look good on me at all. I was just lumpy in all the wrong places, and so they made me these other outfits that were more flattering, I suppose. And when I did in the 6th season put the regulation spacesuit on, I think they sat up in the office watching the dailies going, hey, wait a second, she looks good in that. Why hasn't she been wearing it for the last 6 years and saved us thousands of dollars in costumes? So I wanted to, not that they ever listened to me, but I wanted to stay in my spacesuit. It made me feel like really part of the crew, not this, dolly bird thing, I had somewhere to put my pips. Before that, where were they tattooed on my ass? I mean,
I'm sorry, somewhere to put your what?
My pips.
Pips.
So I was happy to be in my spacesuit, but of course, when all the fans start writing in and saying, where is Troy's cleavage? We wore the other costumes in, off-duty hours.
And then after Next Generation ended, and I guess we would have to skip Deep Space Nine, but the last 2 series obviously had the buxom female that was there for the the young fanboy element, which if it worked for demographics, that's fine.
It did work on Voyager. It did work on
Yes.
Voyager. Their numbers did go up when Jerry came on the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you?
You're pathetic. You are. You're like, no one was watching, the Jerry Ryan comes on and suddenly everyone tunes in. And it's not because she was a Borg.
When you're home in your downtime, do you watch episodes? Do you watch yourself on the TV? Do you find any...
The 179 episodes we did of Next Gen, I think I've seen maybe 70.
Is that right?
Yeah, and thanks to, what is it, Spike TV? I get to see these things for the rest of my life. I've got plenty of time, and a lot of them I've yet to see.
Jordy watches himself all day. Michael Jordan watches himself all day long on Spike TV. I personally would rather watch reruns of Law & Order than watch myself, so I don't watch myself.
I want to be sure to recognize your long involvement with Reading Rainbow. given your involvement with that show, do you feel that Star Trek is a good influence for children?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I've been very lucky in my career to have been involved with entertainment that brings a little something else to the table. And I think that there's a cord, a thread that runs, you know, from Roots through Reading Rainbow and into Star Trek. And I believe that it's television that is there to entertain. Yes, that's part of the mandate. But I love it when television has, because it does have the ability to sort of encourage, enlighten, educate. I believe that if we do our jobs right with this medium, we have the literal ability to lift ourselves up and light the way for one another. And that's the kind of TV that I want to do.
The original series episode, Plato's Stepchildren, is widely regarded as the first interracial kiss in American television with Captain Kirk and Lieutenant Uhura. Many years later in your series, your character dated in a couple of different episodes.
Yeah, but Jordy never really got the girl.
Well, that's true. That's true. But Leah Bronx, absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
And although
but she was a hologram. Pretty,
yeah,
that way. She was a hologram. And ever tried having sex with a hologram? I see that you have.
He's going to change the subject, LeVar.
On to Marina.
And Deanna had an affair with Worf at the end of Next Generation, but
Worf isn't black.
Exactly.
Is Worf black?
I was about to say that
he was British. Do you remember how he was British? He was standing up there and talking in this British accent. And I was like, what are you doing, you idiot? And he'd be like, what? What? I was like, Worf isn't British. Well, you could be.
I think where I was trying to go with
Oh, I know. Did I kiss Worf? Yes, I did kiss Worf. Now, you have to understand, where I come from, in my country, mixed relationships are the norm. It's not an issue at all. Yeah, I didn't, to be honest, until you brought it up, it never even occurred to me that was anything.
Well, I think what I was trying to get to was...
I misread your question again.
There was the bookend of, we had Kirk and Uhura in the original series, and then, of course, we had a scene between Dax and a former symbiote in Deep Space Nine that received a tremendous amount of media attention as being one of the first instances of a same-sex kiss on television. But sandwiched in between those two instances, both of your characters had, in one way or another, had a mixed relationship thing that, to my recollection, didn't receive much press at all, if at any.
And it shouldn't, because it's no big deal.
Okay.
It shouldn't. I mean, a lot of gay fans would say to Gene, why aren't there any gays on Star Trek? And he'd say, well, how do you know? How do you know?
Carter always seemed a little light in his load.
Yeah. You know, those two guys sitting in 10 forward, how do you know they're not gay? You know, so it's like, it shouldn't be an issue. We shouldn't be talking about it. It's a non-issue as far as I'm concerned.
If you can't push those kinds of issues in a society like this on Star Trek, you know, where can